I thank the member for Page and I call the member for Indi.
To the member for Page, I would like to challenge you as to the most beautiful part of the country, because today I'm going to be talking about the Ovens Valley, and I'd particularly like to talk about the Upper Ovens Valley Landcare Group. I would read into Parliament a letter I've received from Paul Hellier. But first off, if I could say, the Upper Ovens Landcare Group began in 1997 with approximately 20 members, and by 2001 it had 55 members, rising over to 180 members by 2012. Guest speakers have really increased the attendance at the meetings, and in the last 2 or 3 years, speakers have covered off a wide variety of topics. So it's a very active, thriving Landcare group. It's basic around the Upper Ovens Valley. There's the two towns of Bright and Myrtleford. So Bright sits on the area of large tracts of Crown land. In most cases, the tops of the hills and the ridges are still covered in native dry foothill forest vegetation, and the Ovens River is the major waterway of the area, and small tributaries from several valleys join it. Bright and its surrounding valleys have a history of gold mining during the 19th century, and the resulting soil disturbance allows weeds such as blackberries to be established. And during the 20th century, the valley floors were farmed intensively as dairy farms or horticultural crops such as tobacco and hops. But now apple orchards and beef cattle are found on the higher cleared slopes, and pine plantations have also been established over wide areas. At the beginning of the 21st century, the township of Bright is a well-established tourism centre with approximately 1 million tourist beds used each year, and forestry, vineyards, apples, tobacco, beef cattle are the major industries. And Paul, the committee member from the Landcare Group, has written to me. He'd be delighted to outline some of the projects that the group is doing, but he tells me funding is one of their major issues. And he talks about the physical boundary of our group's responsibility stretches from Harrietville to Happy Valley, and then on the outskirts of Bright, Porpunka and Myrtleford. He says we're a relatively small Landcare group operating in a really large area, and they need to optimise our effectiveness by focusing on particular projects such as willow and blackberry management, native re-veg projects, educational projects, and then working in partnership with Friends of Germantown, Streamside Reserve, walking tracks, NE, North East CMA, Water Watch program, Parks Victoria, the Pine Plantation and the various government departments. And this year they're particularly working on the Wandillagong Alpine project, the Upper Ovens Community Awareness Group, which has been funded by Victorian Landcare Grant, doing Green Army work and various infrastructure work. But what they've particularly asked me to bring to this Parliament is the importance of funding. These are community groups, so all these volunteers get in and do an amazing job. So paid support, particularly in terms of administration and project work, makes a huge difference. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I thank the member.